Good evening, everyone. Welcome. As I stand here on the last day of my term in this very familiar hall and a very familiar podium, I extend a very warm welcome, a very warm greetings to all of you, and thank you for being present here today. Although throughout the last year, I had to start off numerous events, generally one had to start by addressing those on the dais first and give an impression as if things flowed from this direction to that, and often rightly so. This final program, the AGM, however, is a bit different. Everyone here is a member, everyone here is a fellow member, and everyone here counts equally, bringing meaning and significance to the society. So, with those words, I wish to welcome all of you, all the members, to this 67th Annual General Meeting. In the schedule, this speech is titled as the Outgoing President's Speech. Although the AGM is meant to be really serious business, an ending of someone's term should normally add to that seriousness, I still feel that although the title of the talk is functionally correct, it falls short on the creative count. So maybe this year, we thought we'd rather give it a contemporary title, Brexit. You will appreciate that someone whose title will get a prefix past after about 7 hours from now would tend to be reflective and sentimental both on his last day as the president. Well, it's a long program, friends, and Chetan has told me that his talk is going to be really long, so I would rather be short and light. Friends, the year began with the theme, Learn, Share, Grow. Let me share a few highlights of the year that went by. Last year, we noticed that if we wanted to give better member service, we will have to do a bunch of things. One of them was to align our infrastructure to our activities and future plans. So today, after nearly 2 years, we have a fine-looking and functional learning center at Jolly Bhavan premises and have moved non-member facing back-end staff to a new and larger office space, of course, which is a rented one, a space that is more roomier and also more functional. With this, we have a 100-seater hall with a pre-event area outside so that our committees can have in-house events that are more comfortable, cost-effective, and smooth. This idea was further extended by adding to our digital capability to reach members where they are, so that we have set up a webcast facility. With this, BCAS events can reach members where they are, and the members will be able to partake of an event from his or her desktop, from his or her device. We did the first live webcast 2 weeks back with some glitches, and we hope to do many more and perfect that idea. Another dream that we had was to make the premises of the society available to members for their educational training purposes at a small cost. This should help the startups, the medium and small practices to arrange their in-house trainings at the BCS premises. I'm glad to inform you all that today members can book the BCS hall along with all its facilities for this purpose and make most of their membership. At times, reading takes too long for the point to come across. In this digital age, we need the point to come through sooner and in shorter capsules. So we placed before the committees the idea of making short videos of about 2 minutes, covering a topic within a subject and in a manner that makes the content easier to grasp. We did make a start, and I hope we do more of those short videos in the years to come. Last year on 6th July, I had mentioned about making available BCA events to the outstation members. We could do a few events this year on a standalone basis, both in Chennai and Coimbatore, which were very well received and were full house. Although there were more offers, we could not spend as much time as we would have liked to, but I hope that we'll do more events outside Mumbai. Bcs Publications. Although there is a feeling that the markets are flooded with publications, I believe that the BCA books are special in both their content and context. BCA books are low on reproduction and trivia and deep and hard-hitting on the main topic. They give a balanced view and have practical utility. After the AGM, we will have 2 amazing publications released, one of them after a long wait of 18 years. And few more are in the pipeline and will be released in the next few months. Since Learn, Share and Grow was the theme, I wish to share a few things I learned. The first one is about the yoke of tradition. It is pandemic in our country. Not that tradition is not useful, but they have a place. And traditions as conclusion should not fill the entire space by themselves. In various meetings, one would hear, we have always done it this way. We have debated this before and concluded it thus. This cannot be done because we did it in the past and it did not work. Since conclusions are only past and the present has obviously changed since then, we try to look at some of them afresh and question the issues all over again. Like Thomas Jefferson said, in matters of style, swim with the current. In matters of principle, stand like a rock. I am sure the office bearers on the dais will carry the spirit in those words even further. On a lighter note, there is something interesting about being a president. While a lot of people wonder, being a president of an organization must be such fun, to open events, to write every month in the journal, to be welcoming speakers and guests, and being under the spotlight. I want to tell you that there are 2 presidents, the one you see and the one who works behind the scenes. In addition to his practice and in addition to taking care of his family, the president is an intertwined mixture of numerous functions. Let me share a few. First, the president acts as a secretary and a draftsman. He has to correct from the spelling of Valchan Hirachan Hall to making sure that the person's name has the right prefix, Mr. or Mrs. before it. The president is also benign bulldozer, following up, pushing. Did that announcement go through? Did you make sure that email was received by the speaker? The event you talked about? Did you find the speakers? He is also a creative director. He is designing. He has to think, does that announcement seem aesthetically in line with the society's image? Or responding to someone who tells you, we have been making that announcement for last 10-20 years. Well, sir, for that very reason, can we think of a different way? He is also a driver. He has to drive change. Change, although constant, I must tell you, one learns that change is also the least acceptable. He is also a traffic police. In the meetings, there are always some people who are very, very vocal, to the extent that all other voices just stop coming from every throat in the room. And then people look at you. Will you please stop that flow of traffic? And can you let the traffic flow from the other side? He is also an executive assistant. I remember people calling very often, sir, today's lecture meeting I IMC. Can you tell us the address, please? Well, some member really make sure that only the president can give the correct address. Friends, there are so many wonderful stories and anecdotes that adorn this wonderful ride. But let me stop here and show you a short video that is going to tell you that's going to show you a few highlights of the year that went by and give you a glimpse of about 100,000 hours of education that took place in 7 minutes.
behind the scenes. So, that okay, what so much effort just goes behind it, and just like for today's example. I think people must have spent at least weeks on end just to see to that today's meeting was successful. And technology initiatives is the next big thing. There's no end to it. And frankly speaking, if today Bombay Chapter Economic Society, I would like it should be called India Chapter Economic Society. The only reason being that today there's no bridge from Bombay to the rest of India with the help of technology. We must take them back. So coordination of the BCAS publication, where there are 5 authors, enthusiastic authors who are contributing to a treatise which will be a very, heavy book, which I think that it will be a dream publication of not only Audi and corporate and Red Cross committee, and which should be a sought after publication in NBFC region. That's my contribution to the society as a coordinator, not as an author, but still it is giving me immense pleasure.
Okay, thank you for being on the managing committee, and it was great having you throughout the year.
And I should acknowledge that your term has been really excellent, and you have been a go-getter and making all the managing committee members think and work for the society. Thanks for the efforts.
Thank you, Raman.
First of the others is knowledge. We have to rearrange the effort, maybe by way of what we call it, group discussion or presentation papers. In such a way that people should come for their knowledge, study.
We have become top of the town as far as messages concerned for various reasons. Some happy, some not happy. And 2015-16 no different. We have had lots of developments, lots of improvements in the taxation law, in the administration of the taxation laws.
Technology, digital, everything is taking over us. And to retain that kind of touch with the human elements, the emotional intelligence, EQ, whatever we call it, that remains equally vital. And from that point of view, that's also a very important element where we need to continue to pursue our activities. And the last thing is we have also added the practice management dimension because in today's age and time, the old models of practicing chartered accountants may not work as well, and therefore to guide our members as to what can work well, we need to focus on that part also. So equipping our members in the newer areas and also possibly practice management, evolving concepts. Those are the other focus areas that we want to do more.
Another highlight was that the vision that was projected in the start of the presentation was taken to the scale. So it was not before. So I think it did was launched and growth.
For me personally, I think for building society, being a young president,
I went digital with your initiative. I was not on LinkedIn, I was not on Facebook, I was not active. Then I got on Twitter, just taking inspiration from you. So that was really, really exciting. And more exciting personally was I lost a lot of hair finalizing the account and became very totally.
Friends, from what I saw in the 5 years as being an office bearer, BCA is still being watched upon. People from outstation often come to our events trying to understand how these events are done. Organizations do look up to BCA for ideas and benchmark of quality. We had the largest ITF till date with 260 participants, the International Tax and Finance Conference. We had the largest NDS RSC and the largest service tax RSC till date. And the students event, the Jal Arak Dastur annual Students' Day event, crossed 500 this year. But numbers are not really that big a deal. It has never been how many, but how we do things and why we do it. I can say that with confidence that the why and how of everything we do is clear and solid, and you only learn that fully when you stand here on the last day of your term. And here are the two stories I want to tell you. The first one is from a participant at the recent RSC, the Residential Study course on service tax in Lavasa, about 2 weeks back. He worked as a partner in one of the largest professional services practice, and he said this. He said even at 9:30 p.m. on day one, as Mr. A.R. Krishnan was giving his presentation, not a single person got up to leave the hall, although everyone had come the same day after traveling for about 5 to 8 hours. He said, when I went to the room after dinner, after the presentation, my roommate wanted to discuss the next day's paper post 11 o'clock with a few other participants. And next morning, he said, everyone was back in their groups at 8:30 a.m. after eating breakfast. He said, in our firm, we tried numerous ways and they haven't worked. If instead of ending at 6 o'clock, if the event ended half an hour late, people write to HR and complain that the event short by half an hour and we had to sit back. Whereas here, people come after paying those fees and they still are so deeply involved in learning. The next day, this is the second story, I was talking to the chairman of the Indirect Taxation Committee, Govindji Goyal, and who has been running that committee for almost 6 years. And he said since last 6 years, he has done all he could to keep the fees of the residential study course at the same level. And when I put these two stories together, I realized that till we have these two attributes in our organizational DNA, the culture and passion to learn and to share it generously, we are doing good. In a divided world where political unions split, where states split, where firms split, the society's 9 committees work cohesively and with common purpose. I wanted to thank every committee member, every convener, every coordinator of the events, all the chairmen, and everyone I missed. In this list, I also wish to include those who could easily fit the category of NPA, non-performing assets, those committee members whose interest didn't come across as much as it was expected. But I would treat it, unlike the RBI, as a temporary phenomena and an exceptional one, and I hope that they will really catch up in the next year. I'm grateful to the past presidents, the pillars of the society, and the lighthouses for the office bearers. All of them, in spite of being more senior than I by 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, they all were very friendly, very approachable, extremely helpful, and very generous with their time. A special bow to late Narayan Bhai Verma, who would have made all efforts to be here at this AGM, and we miss his radiant presence today. And I think, and you all will agree, Although he is not here today, I'm sure he must be watching this AGM from wherever he is. Of course, a big thank you to all the office bearers team, well-meaning and very hard-working individuals who have BCAS inscribed on their hearts. If you open their shirt, you could probably find BCA written on their hearts. Chetan for being a great teammate. He ran the renovation part with Deepak and Pranay with great speed and precision. Narayan, a very hard-working person, a super go-getter. You tell him something and you know that it will be done. Sunil, a silent worker, he led the implementation of a new ERP at the BCS, at the society, and in spite of running his practice single-handedly, he could implement it. And of course, Manish, the youngest office bearer who picked up the accounts, and he dirtied his hands and he did some deep cleaning to the extent that he lost all his black. But I think we don't agree with that, right? I wish the team on the dais a very rich and rewarding year. Please give all of them a very big thanks. The BCS team led by General Manager Jyoti Malkani. In case you haven't seen her, Jyoti, please. Amit Singh, Shreya, here. Javed, Amit and Javed run the events team. Shreya runs the accounts team. And Sharmaji, please. Our knowledge manager, and along with all the rest of the team, they have done an exceedingly great job. I must also give a special mention about Rajaram, and he completed 35 years earlier this year. We did acknowledge him. Yes, and Upendra, whom I missed, sorry. Upendra is our office manager, and he loves to do job on the time and ice cream. That's what I was going to say. Rajaram has been a great pillar to the events team, and he is, like we have Lal Bagcha Raja in Mumbai, he is the BCH Raja. I want to thank my grandfather, who was a founding member of the society and introduced our family to BCAS, my father and mother, both part of the BCA family for nearly 40 years, my wife Rashmi for taking care of me and taking care of herself while I was away, and my little daughter, whom I can't wait to spend more time with. Friends, what unites us at BCA is far bigger and compelling than what separates us. I want to thank all the volunteers, the contributors, the writers, the donors, the speakers, the well-wishers, the sister organization leaders, and thank them all for their selfless work and making a great contribution to a larger good. In the end, I wish that I had more time. I wish I had few more hands. I wish I could be, I could sort of replicate myself to be at more places than one. But perhaps the best journeys remain unfinished because probably they don't have a destination, and a journey to learn, share, grow is certainly one of a lifetime. Thank you, everyone.